Hello. In this video, we will focus on how to report structural equation modeling results in PLS. Now, this is our model. I've already run the analysis just to save us time. Now, we've got an independent variable, a dependent variable. I've got three moderating analysis. CH is the moderator. And then I've got three mediators, TC, RC, and PC. Now, in order to analyze the results, the first thing that one should do is format the results so they make more sense and they are easy to read. Now we'll do the same thing as we did in our last lecture or last session, where we focused on interpreting the results from our measurement model. So let's copy this table or these results, the mean, standard deviation, t-values and p-values results, the significance testing results, into our Excel format. So we'll open Excel. So let's open Excel. And let's have a new sheet. So the first thing we do is we paste our results here. Just arrange them a little. Actually, we do not need to report the sample mean. We report the original mean, that is our beta coefficient. We delete these values. We are not interested in the impact of the moderator on the mediators and the dependent variable. So we delete these rows just to clean the data and see if we have all the hypotheses, the moderation hypothesis. We'll report the moderation hypothesis separately. So what we can do is just cut these rows and put them at the end. Okay, so let's see our hypothesis. So our hypothesis, the first hypothesis that I want to report is servant leadership independent and dependent variable. So I'll put it right here. The second hypothesis is the independent variable with the mediators and in a particular order, TC, RC, and PC. So what we do is we put TC, RC, and then PC. Okay, then the impact of mediators on the dependent variable. So starting with TC, sorry. So starting with TC, then RC, and then PC. Now, if we look here, this one is significant, insignificant. Well, you can say it's partially significant. This one is insignificant. This is significant, insignificant, insignificant, insignificant. This is insignificant because the p-values are greater than 0.05 and the t-values are less than 1.96. Now, what we'll do is we'll format them into up to 3 decimal points. We're just reporting the direct relationships for now, and then we'll go to the mediators and moderators. So we go to format cells, number, up to 3 decimal points, and press OK. So now it's well formatted. So what we do is we copy this up till here and put it in our Word document. Here it is. So what you do is just click on this, right click, auto fit, and auto fit to window. And let's have all borders for now. Now I've arranged it or the reporting of our structural model. Now, first thing you do is that what structural model actually tells us. So the structural model reflects the paths hypothesized in the research framework. A structural model is assessed based on R square, Q square, and the significance of paths. So the first thing is that you report your R square, Q square, and along with it, your model fit. So now let's do our first step, and then periodically we'll move to our second and other steps as well. So the first step is reporting our R square. Now, if we go back to our results, and if we go to the bootstrapping results, and if we see this R square here under quality criteria, these are the R square values: 0.277 for PC, 0.196 for RC, 0.292 for TC, and 0.206 for TP. So what this tells us is that 27 point, let's go back. So PC has R square value of 0.277, which is significant, and all of them are significant. So PC, 0.277. So 27.7% change in PC can be attributed to all these arrows coming in. So from wherever you get these arrows coming in, these are the variables that are actually influencing PC. So the value, the 0.277, the R square value, is actually derived from the influence of SL, this moderating variable, community hostility. So these are the three variables that are actually influencing PC. So this 27.7% change in PC can be attributed to these three variables: SL, the moderating impact, and community hostility. Now, some of them could be significant while the others may be insignificant. So in this case, community hostility has got a significant impact. While in case of TP, community hostility is insignificant, because this right here shows us the T statistics. So it has to be greater than 1.96. So if we have a look, all of these values are greater than the required value of 0.1. So the results actually show that the predictive capability is established. So the model has predictive capability. Now, how do you report these? We do the same operation. We just click it into Excel format, and we can paste it here. And what we can do is we just copy these two, because we are interested in just the R square value for a particular variable. So we just copy it. These are 4 values. Go into our table, and right at the end of it, we add 4 rows, and just maybe one more, and we paste it here. And at the top of it, we can write R square. So this is your R square values. Now the next thing that you need to report is your Q square. So that is predictive relevance, whether the model has predictive relevance or not. So in order to establish predictive relevance, the Q square value should be greater than 0. So how do you establish predictive relevance? Obviously, you will have to run another test. So what you do is you go to calculate, blindfolding, and don't do anything, just press start. May take a little time because the model is complex. Okay. And the next thing that we will establish is the model fit. SmartPLS gives you SRMR. The value should be less than preferably 0.10 or 0.8. The lesser, the better. So we will establish SRMR. So once these are done, the next step is our hypothesis. So first, we report our direct relationships, and after that, we will do our mediation and moderation results as well. So let's see if our model has run. Yes, almost done. And just another 5-10 seconds left. Okay. Yes, all calculations done. And let's see our results. So Q square values, obviously they will be for the endogenous variables only because they are being predicted. So you copy them in Excel format and you paste them here. So what we need is we just remove these because we don't need this. Actually, we do not need the SL as well because that's exogenous. So we put it here. Okay, and copy your variables or your data and bring it into your Word document. And just write Q square here and Control V. So let's put it in superscript. Okay, let's say press Control E, centralize. Okay, now that you have reported, or what you can do is we do not need to repeat this again. So cut and we paste it here. Now, good enough. So this is how you report your Q square, which is greater than 0. So you have predictive relevance. The next step, establishing the fit indices. So SRMR is what we are using in this model. So what you do is you go to again the bootstrapping results and you go to SRMR and it's 0.075. It's red, but still it's fine because it's less than 0.10, sorry. So now this step is also done. So you are done with this step, reporting your R square, your Q square, and your SRMR. So you merge this text with your previous text. Just to be sure that, okay, we are on the right track, what we'll do is we select this and remove the background, no color. Okay. And just okay, the next step is now further to the assessment of goodness of fit, hypotheses were tested to ascertain the significance of relationship H1. And okay, now each of the hypotheses is now evaluated. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hypotheses. So I'm just going to do one, and then obviously you can do the rest. So if you see here, there is a negative relationship between servant leadership and TC, partially significant. Servant leadership and relationship conflict is also significantly negative. So this shows that there is a negative relationship between these variables. So I'm just going to do one. So H1 evaluates whether SL has a significant impact on TP. The results reveal that SL has a significant impact on TP. So here beta value, which is the original sample mean, so which is 0.418, T value is 6.298, and P is less than 0.001, so we will write like this. So hence our H1 is supported. I'm going to do another one, one that is insignificant, so that it is clear. Further, okay, let's do H3 because that is insignificant. H3 evaluates whether SL has a significant impact on PC. The results reveal that SL has an insignificant impact on PC. Beta value is minus, although negative, but the results are insignificant. 0.67. We don't need these. 1.025, 1.025. P is equal to 0.305, sorry, and H3 was not supported. So this is how you evaluate, or rather report, a hypothesis that is significant and a hypothesis that is insignificant. Now, one other thing that one should report is the 95% confidence intervals. Now, you would have seen papers that normally do not report these, but I've got reviews where the reviewers have asked for these to be reported. So let's format our table a bit so that we've got space for the 95% confidence intervals. So we paste it here, and the standard deviations, the t statistics, and let's add 2 columns for the 95% confidence intervals, and let's arrange our table. So if we go to layout, distribute columns, that would do. Good enough. Okay, so where are our bias corrected confidence intervals? So if you go to Bootstrap, go to path coefficients and confidence intervals bias corrected. So here they are. So you just need to copy this 2.5%, 97.5%, but we'll do in Excel format. So let's paste it here. We do not need these. Actually, we do not need both of these. So, and we do not need the moderation for now. So what we'll do is we'll just cut them and put them here for now. We'll use them in moderation. And we do not need actually these because we are not looking into the impact of the moderator on the dependent or the mediator's and dependent variable. So we are left with these, and the order has to be same if you just want to copy and paste. So let's say we need to order it. I'm just going to do one for now. Let's do SLNTP. So you just copy it from here, and SLNTP is here. So you just paste it. At the top of the table as title, you just need to put these. And that's it. So this is how you can report your bias corrected confidence intervals. And you do just the same for the rest of them, just copy and paste from that table. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to report our mediation analysis. Now, in order to report our mediation analysis, we actually need 3 things. We need the total effect, we need the indirect effect, and we need the direct effect. So in mediation analysis, what we are looking into is that whether the influence of X on Z passes through another variable, maybe Y or maybe M1 or whatever name that you want to assign. So in this case, we've got 3 variables. So let's see if the impact of X on Z passes through these 3 variables or not. So mediation analysis require your table to be in a particular format. So let's first format our table. If we press insert, we'll add a new table. So we want the total effects, we want the direct effect, we want the indirect effect as well for all the 3 mediators. Okay, so the effect of SL on TP. So the total effect and its significance. We need the direct effect and its significance. And we need the indirect effect. So let's SL that, let's see, TC. So these are the 3 indirect effects that we are evaluating. So you will have just one total effect because you have got one independent and one dependent variable. So where do you get this total effect? Here it is under final results, it's total effects. So if you look for, you're looking for servant leadership and team performance. So yes, the total effect is significant. 0.396 is the beta value, 0.396, and the p-value is 0.000. If you are interested in reporting the t-value as well, sure, you can go ahead and report the t-value. So let's report the t-value as well. So t-value is 6.274. 6.274. So the total effect is without accounting for the effect or the involvement of any of the mediators or moderator in the model. So the direct effect, when we've got the mediators in the model, so is the relationship between SL and TP still significant? Let's see. In order to get the direct effect, in presence of the mediators, the effect of IV on DV, SL and TP, yes, it's actually it increased. So 0.418, 0.418, and so without the mediators, the effect was 0.396. So with the mediators coming into play, the effect actually increased to 0.418. Now you will have to justify this into your discussion. So we're not going to focus on this for now. We're just going to focus on the interpretation of results. And now we are interested in finding out whether mediators play a role, or the impact of SL on TP passes through certain mediators or not. So what you do is you go to specific indirect effects. And here we are. Actually, what this tells us is that none of the mediators are significant. So the influence of IV on DV is not passing through any of these mediators. So we copy this in Excel format just to get the result that we are interested in. So we paste it here. We are not interested in these two. We are not interested in these two as well. And we are not interested in these two as well. So we are only interested in these actually. So what we do is, it should be first is TC, then PC, then RC. So let's arrange this a bit. Cut. TC, PC, and RC. Yes, good enough. Let's. Okay. So let's see. Okay, we will not report our standard deviation. We do not need to report it. Just the t values, and here are your results. Let's arrange them a little. Okay. Okay, this is your effect or beta value. This is your t, and this is your p value or significance. So let's interpret one of the results, and then obviously you can do for the rest of them. Mediation analysis was performed to assess the mediating role of DC, PC, and RC. The results, see table 4, revealed insignificant. P is greater than 0.05. Mediating role of TC. Let us do one. So let's say the hypothesis name is, or the number is the same. So P value is minus 0.012. T value is 1.061. P is equal to 0.289. Now, similarly, you can report the other results as well. So we can report the next one. PC is, the beta value is actually, there is no beta value, no impact at all. 0.032, and P value is 0.974. Team commitment, or rather RC. Minus 11, T is 639, and P is 523. since we did not get any mediating role of any variable, so we're going to just change the text a bit. So between SL and TP, which is actually team performance. So this is how actually you report your mediation analysis results. Now the next is your moderation results. So how do you report your moderation results? So moderation analysis. Okay, let's copy our moderation analysis results. Let's format them a bit first, because we want the decimal numbers to go up to 3 digits. Okay, yes, good enough. Copy. And then let's paste it here. Okay, if we have a look, only SL and RC relationship is moderated. So the CH variable, which is the community hostility, is actually moderating the relationship between servant leadership and a relationship conflict. So there is positive moderation. We'll look into this as to what this means in a bit. Okay, so let's interpret it. Moderation analysis was performed to evaluate the moderate role of CH, community hostility. The results revealed an insignificant moderating role of CH on the relationship between SL and TC. We need to arrange this. So let's arrange this so that there is uniformity in your results. Although there are things to be improved, but for now, let's arrange what we can for the sake of this video. So the first is TC, then this PC, then RC, and let's put SLTP in the end. Okay, so the results are, or the CH or the community hostility has insignificant moderating effect on the relationship between SL and TC. So what you do is you go to beta value, and that's 0.194, comma, your P value is equal to 0.820, sorry, comma, P is equal to 0.412. So insignificant moderating role of CH on the relationship between SL and TC, insignificant moderating relationship between SL and TC as well, because that is greater than 0.05. You can say it can be serves as a partial mediator, or sorry, moderator. But for now, let's for the sake of this video, we'll keep it an insignificant moderator in the relationship, because we've got one significant, so we can assess how it influences the relationship. And this is 207. Sorry. And SL and TP. This is also insignificant. So P value and your T value is 0.803 in this case, and 142. CH was found to have a significant moderating role on the relationship between SL and RC. So how did it work out? Let's see. So let's arrange it a bit. So sorry. So the beta value is greater than 0.20, so it was to be significant. But in the case of PC, although it was slightly greater than 0.20, but it was found insignificant. So you do not interpret your significance just based on the beta values. This is important thing that one should note. So now we are going to draw a graph. We've got different tools to draw a graph. So I've got this graph which I'm going to share for now, and then okay, now here is our slope analysis. Now in order to get this, you go to your PLS algorithm, and in the final results you see this simple slope analysis. Now we are not concerned about PC, we are not concerned about TC because obviously the moderator were insignificant. We are concerned about, what we are concerned about is our RC, because that moderation analysis actually shows that RC is being, or the relationship between servant leadership and RC is being moderated. Now, if we go to our initial results, we see that the relationship between servant leadership and RC is actually negative. So a higher level of servant leadership would lead to a lower relationship conflict. Now, how does community hostility moderate such relationship? Now, if we look at our results here, this blue line at the middle actually shows without any moderation effect of CH. So what it tells us is that at lower servant leadership behavior, there is high relationship conflict. But at high servant leadership behavior, there is low relationship conflict. But what if your community hostility decreases? So if your community hostility is reduced, so the impact of the impact of servant leadership on relationship conflict actually improves. So it further reduces. So when there is low community hostility, the impact of servant leadership actually increases in reducing the relationship conflict in the organization. So in order to have maximum impact of servant leadership on relationship conflict, you need low community hostility. But what if community hostility increases, which is shown by this green? So look at this slope. It's not that upward. So it shows that that at low servant leadership, or even at high servant leadership, there is not much change in relationship conflict. So you cannot use servant leadership to control your relationship conflict if you've got high community hostility. So this is how community hostility moderates the relationship between servant leadership and relationship conflict. So when community hostility is low, if we see this line here, the slope is downward, significantly downward. But when the community hostility increases, the slope is not that downward. Actually, it goes upward. So even with high servant leadership, your relationship conflict actually it is increasing, but it's not that high. So we cannot say that it actually makes an impact. When the community hostility increases with servant leadership, the relationship conflict would increase. So but in our case, this red line shows that there is a moderating effect, but you need to keep your community hostility significantly low. So what you can do is you can just copy this chart, okay, and you just paste it here in your results. So look at this slope now. It's much clearer now. Look at this blue, and this now the colors have changed now. So look at this blue line. Look at how low it goes. So at low community hostility, with high servant leadership, you've got very low relationship conflict. But this actually does not translate into a situation when you have high community hostility. Even higher level of servant leadership won't carry any impact. But this graph actually tells us that relationship conflict is actually slightly increasing. So this is mean community hostility at mean, when not taking into consideration the impact, or just dealing with community hostility as is, without increasing or decreasing it. So this shows that, okay, at low servant leadership, there is high relationship conflict, and at high servant leadership, there is low relationship conflict. So these green and blue lines actually tells us what happens when the community hostility actually increases or decreases respectively. I hope the lecture would have helped you understand and the concept and reporting of the the results. One more thing. So what you can do is you can write here that okay, let's see, at low community hostility, there is a higher impact of servant leadership on relationship conflict. However, increasing community hostility leads or dampens the relationship between servant leadership and RC, as shown by the line in green, because it is actually dampening the relationship, the impact. Now we cannot say that servant leadership is actually leading us or helping to reduce the relationship conflict. Well, on the contrary, it's actually increasing the relationship conflict. So this is how the moderation analysis works. Thank you so very much.